Hello students, welcome to MGM Education. This is Alternative English. The chapter is The Happy Man. We are going to read about the contents of the lesson, The Happy Man. Now watch. The Happy Man is written by W.S. Maugham. Okay. Well, in this lesson, he described the characters and the qualities that a happy man possesses. Well, who is a happy man? Is he the fellow who possesses the material well-being? I mean, who has bank balance, car, landed property, reputation, and so on? Or who has creativity and who has many children and who is that blessed fellow? Or what? What exactly a happy man mean by? Of course, it is really difficult to eliminate a happy fellow because happiness is a mental state. It's a state of mind. It is unseen and unattainable by material philosophy. The metaphysical sense of happiness may serve some reason in this regard. So here the writer says that the happiness is in a different way. He described happiness in a new light, new perspective, or you can say that in a new dimensional. Okay, a careful reading of this story, we have to focus upon the main character. One is happens to be the writer W.S. Maugham, and another is a person, a doctor by profession. He is Stephen. Now we will see the philosophy of happiness after the lifestyle adopted by Stephen as advised by the writer. Okay, let us now begin the contents. Now see, the writer says it is very difficult to advise people because most of the people are not worthy of advising. They hear but they don't follow. They have no qualification for this. They don't know themselves properly. How are they advise others? If you do so, will it be effective? The writer thinks like that. Life is a complex thing. Human predicament are still more complex. It's quite hard to form a conclusion and put it on others. I mean, what he says here is whenever we give advice to somebody else, it doesn't mean that the advice will be fruitful and he will follow you. So, most of the time, the advice just goes to be unproductive. So, actually, the writer here don't want to give any advice to anybody else because he has studied the people very well. Anyway, when the writer was a young man, see the scene next. He lived in a modest apartment in London near the Victorian station. One day, a stranger came there and identified himself as, "Yeah, I am Mr. Stephen. I am a doctor," he said like this. He had known from others that the writer had a great deal of knowledge about Spain, okay, and that he was a doctor too. Here, Spain is the country to which Mr. Stephen, a doctor of London, want to go stay there and earn. So, Stephen began his story like this: that he was brought up by, you know, two old aunts, and he had never been to anywhere. Yeah, he had been married for 6 years and had no children. He was a medical officer at Commonwealth Infirmary. Okay, so see his profession, his married life, and he was a childhood. Profession is doctor. He was disgusted with the routine work. Means disgusted, विरक्त हो जाए छे, routine life, daily life. He could not think of leading such an uninteresting life for the whole time. So ତେଣୁ ସେ disgust ହେଇଯାଇଛି. Of course, now he is working as a doctor in London and earning money. But he was not satisfied with this life, routine life in London. So he met with the writer W.S. Maugham and is talking with him now. And the writer looked at him by watching his words that how disgusted he was. Then Stephen slowly started speaking to the author. Said that, hello sir, I have heard that you have very great knowledge on Spain, and I have seen in a magazine you have written an article about Spain. Well, is it the right thing to have a good place in Spain for an English doctor? If I go there, can I survive nice? I had also collected the information from your article that Spain is a very good place with wine color, much of the fresh air and all enjoyment there. He, actually, he asked this to writer. He wanted to know whether that place will be proper for him to stay, leaving London behind. They replied to him what the writer said. You see, he said, "Yeah, you must decide for yourself. I am not going to give you any advice. It is you who has to decide for your life. But if you don't want money, but you are content and satisfied to earn just enough to keep the body and soul together, if this is your intention, then you will lead a wonderful life." Okay. The fellow left the place. The writer forgot the incident. Time passed away and the things changed after 15 years. So, what happens now after 15 years? Let us have a discussion. After 15 years, the writer had been to Seville, a place of Spain. There he met with Stephen. Actually, he was not feeling well, so he, after reaching in Spain, particular place that is Seville, he asked to someone that is there any doctor nearby? I want to go for my checkup. So people said, yeah, here, there you can go. And you know, a coincidence this is that when he entered into the doctor's house, it's a very ordinary Spanish house, and he went there to check up. But surprisingly, the doctor there was Mr. Stephen. Stephen recognized the writer, ତାକୁ ଚିହ୍ନିଦେଲା ଇଏ, right? କିଏ doctor, and said that his advice changed the course of his life. ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆପଣ ଦେଇଥିବା advice ରେ ମୋର life change ହେଇଗଲା ବୋଲି ତାକୁ କହିଲେ. He told to remember his advice and which he had given 15 years ago. 15 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ ମୋତେ ସେ advice ତମେ ଦେଇଥିଲ. ତେଣୁ ସେ କହୁଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ବି ସ୍ପେନ୍ ଭାରି ଆଇଲି. I came to Spain, but my wife has left me. ମୋତେ ଛାଡ଼ି ଦେଇଛି. But life is full of compensation. To get something, we have to lose something. ବୋଲି କହୁଛି. ତାପରେ he got everything in Spain except money. ବଲଛି ପଚାରିଲା author, how are you here in Spain? ବୋଲେ, yeah, I got everything in Spain, but except money. Yes. Now the writer watched him closely and thinking and telling that Stephen, who had left London and come here, yeah, I thought he will be leading a poor life, but he really leading a satisfied life here, although limited money. And writer was happy that the doctor, that is the Stephen, accepted his advice and come to Spain. Here he had a pleasant life. He would not exchange the life he had with that of any king in the world. The writer know for the first time that his advice has come true, became fruitful. Yeah. Okay. So here we studied about something about the writer W.S. Maugham, and then the chief character Stephen, and how Stephen met with him, and what the writer advice uh, given to him. And no, the writer has not really given any advice to him because he believed that advices may not be materialized by anybody else. He left freedom to the Stephen himself. You decide what to do or what not to, right? Then we came to know something about Mr. Stephen, his profession, his living, and his opinion on life. and his intention of going to Spain. Yeah, then on the advice of W.S. Maugham, means the writer, uh, he has gone to Spain to lead. So here he wanted to tell you exactly about the definition of happiness and a happy man in an unconventional way, right? What he said is that it is a state of mind, as you think, so you get. He said that happiness is a mental state, and the mind in its own place. One can make a heaven into a hell and a hell into heaven. It depends on the person's thought. And happiness cannot be bought from anywhere. It is within you. How can you create it? This trick he has given to this doctor. An ordinary mortal can be happy with the unadulterated materialism, but all the people of the world are not of the same temperament. What he says. Otherwise, why should Gautama Buddha left his all glories and went to the forest and became an ascetic life, adopted an ascetic life? Now, see here, his protagonist, Mr. Stephen, got materialistic benefit at Commonwealth, that is in London, when he was working as a doctor. But it didn't please him, and he didn't like the stereotype life. So each day comes with the same activity, makes people bore. The same was the case with Stephen. So Stephen not planned to left. He had left London and reached to Spain, and adopted a style of life there as his own profession. But he faced a little challenge there because poverty or lacking of material prosperity will definitely uh, painful to all. He has to pay the price of it. His wife also, in the way, she could not tolerate the pain, and she has left Stephen and again went to London. And this pain was compensated by some pleasure. The writer says, "What is the pleasure? That I thought this man will be bored here in Spain, but he is really having a satisfied life here. So he made Spain a heaven for him." It is this thought, how you feel, so you get. So happiness is such a thing. One has to collect it from within the heart. It is not found from any outside.